have a question on the oral submissions. So one of the things that came out was that in the report that you attempted to move the committee to not hear any oral submissions. I'm sure you have good reasons for it, but why was it?
No, look, we hate the bill, right? We really don't like the bill, and we didn't want my first motion, which are all recorded in the select committee report. My first motion was, let's just turn this around immediately. All of us around the table, except for one ACT member, know what's going to happen to this bill. Why would we put New Zealand to the expense and the distress of this process, right? So let's just turn it around, send it straight back to Parliament in 3 days, and say we don't like it. So that was my first my first motion. And the second one was, is again, right, let's kind of lance the boil, get it out of the way as quickly as possible, and send it straight back without any oral submissions, because we've got 300,000 written ones. We know what we've got, Now, to be fair, that was unlikely to get acceptance around the table, and it panned out as was expected. It was rejected. But what really frustrated me, and I really want to stress this, was that once we agreed to enter into a fully fledged submissions process, the bill was reported back today, and that's about 40 days before it was due. Now, and there are hundreds of thousands of submissions which are not yet on the record. So they didn't. It's like, a judge making a decision without hearing all the evidence. Not all the evidence was before us. Now, we know the way the wind was blowing, right? But the fact of the matter is, it was an incredibly poor process. It was rushed, and it's pretty. I was actually really upset. People were like patting me on the back and saying, "Good work you're doing on the Treaty Principles Bill." But on Thursday, when these decisions were made, I was actually quite sad, because I just looked at the way it was the National Party were treating the process, and it was just mercenary. They just wanted to kind of slide it under the carpet, get it passed. They want it out of the way and not to kind of intersect with the budget week. They don't want to confuse that, and it's it's just a bad process. But look, we've got to where we are. We know what's going to happen next. The National Party will vote. Well, Jesus, just imagine. But we're pretty confident it's going to get voted down, and that'll be the end of it. So and I kind of look forward to that. Put it to rest.